afternoon, 7:14 is the time, and this is the familiar face that I said we cannot wait to welcome back. And Alana Rocha with the Texas Tribune is back to work after having a very cute baby.
Yes,
welcome back.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Stay with us because we're going to show you a picture of her. She's adorable. Okay, but let's get down to business because I know it's down right back to work for you. Let's talk about how Texas senators approved a bill dealing with inappropriate relationships when it comes to students. I'm surprised there's even a bill that has to say, you know what, this is wrong and we need to do something about it.
Well, it's always been wrong, but it's now in law. As far as creating more oversight from the Texas Education Agency, what was happening is if, say, a teacher had an inappropriate relationship with a student in another district, now there's wider, if this passes Senate Bill 7, wider oversight as far as, punishing superintendents and principals who fail to report teachers who have had inappropriate relationships with students.
Right.
It also introduces training so teachers know boundaries.
What to spot and
how to keep themselves within boundaries with students.
Interesting.
And then also if a teacher has to register as a sex offender, they would automatically lose their teaching license, which has not been the case before, evidently.
Wow. Eye-opening. I know we did an investigation here at KXAN, so you can go to our website and look that over as well. In other news, Ted Cruz has some concerns about the plan when it comes to President Trump's Health Care Act. What is this issue with this one? There's some divide just within the own party of it.
Right. Well, I mean, you have Trump's full support, so a lot of politicians like Ted Cruz are kind of walking a fine line of, okay, our president supports this, but, conservative groups, many of whom supported Cruz in his underdog campaign back in 2012, are criticizing this plan. So in a conference call yesterday, he really didn't outline specific changes that need to be made, but said he's confident that certain changes should be made and can be made and would then be able to pass his chamber.
And he was at the White House, he said yesterday as well?
Just last night. Him, his wife, and daughters joined Melania Trump, the First Lady, and the President for dinner at the White House. Of course, they were adversaries during the campaign.
Oh, yeah, they were.
So to be a fly on the wall. But Cruz did tweet out a photo this morning with his daughters next to Trump in the Oval Office and said they were very gracious and had a lovely evening.
Do you remember when his daughters had like a little campaign on TV against Trump? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There was a little something like that. So I remember seeing their faces. It's interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Different time.
Yep.
Okay, and then let's talk about something called On the Record. What is this, Alana?
It is kind of fireside chats as far as, during happy hour, we are hosting a series of conversations to kind of enlighten people. Our whole mission at the Tribune is to create a more engaged electorate. So this allows people to come in, have the Tribune cocktail, sit down at the W Hotel here in Austin, and just listen to how they can become more engaged, contact their lawmakers, and kind of the in and outs of the legislature.
All right, kind of a laid-back kind of conversation. And speaking of that, you haven't been able to have any downtime lately either, because we wanted to show a picture, with your permission, of course. Yes. Who is this baby?
This is Remy Lee, and she was 6 pounds at birth and has gained, I think, 4 or 5 since birth.
For you?
Yeah, and of course, this morning my alarm was set for 4:30, and she was up at 3:45. So.
Well, that best alarm clock ever, by the way.
Exactly, yeah, not to whimper of a cry, but yeah, no, she's great.
Best sleep deprivation as well. You look amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
For all that you do.